This proposal, it raises taxes on the middle class. It borrows trillions from the future to give tax cuts to the wealthiest. 80% of the GOP's tax cuts go to the wealthiest 1% at the expense of children and working families. And in the budget on the floor this week, Republicans have revealed the true cruelty of their tax plan. This budget ransacks Medicare and Medicaid after adding trillions in debt, robbing from the future, adding trillions in debt in tax breaks for corporations and the wealthiest. The GOP will use the deficit to try to justify devastating Medicare and Medicaid.
$600 billion worth of cuts to non-discretionary spending. They're trying to do the same thing that they did with health care reform. Rush something through that nobody has seen, get it to the floor as quickly as possible, and then have it voted on before anybody in the United States understands how it will affect them.
The Speaker said this morning that he thought DACA would be it was reported that he said.
The budget is truly the thing that is alarming, because when you look at the Senate budget, the Senate Republican budget, what it does is cut $4 trillion out of spending over the next 10 years, mandatory spending, almost $2 trillion out of Medicaid and Medicare alone. And then it adds more than $600 billion worth of cuts to non-discretionary spending, which is everything that guarantees the economic security of this country. So while they're protective, as they should be, of our Defense Department spending, they have totally ignored the portion of the budget which helps Americans get a leg up and helps them achieve success economically.
Excuse me, I'm happy to take any questions on another subject, but while we have our distinguished leadership of these committees, I'll come back to you, I promise.
We're all in favor of greater economic growth. We have a fundamental disagreement based upon the investments that are being discussed as to how to best get there, but our position on those issues is very clear. Again, infrastructure, broadband, expand the earned income tax credit, expand the child care credit. We're specific on those. And we think that's where you want to head in this argument over tax reform. And again, tax reform took 2 years in '86. It started in '85 with Dick Gephardt and Bill Bradley filed their first bill. We're going to go from a budget to a markup in about 7 days? That doesn't square.